You'd think that we'd have most characters covered with a massive roster of 182 characters, but Dragon Ball Sparking Zero managed to leave out some surprising faces, especially for longtime fans of the Budokai Tenkaichi series. In today's video, I'll be diving into the top 10 missing characters from Sparking Zero who have in fact appeared in previous Budokai Tenkaichi games, but unfortunately for one reason or another didn't make the cut this time round. These are not just random characters who weren't included. These individuals brought unique abilities, rich backstories, as well as game-changing dynamics which players have come to love from previous games. From classic villains to powerful allies and even beloved side characters, I'm counting down the fighters who absolutely deserve a spot within the roster of Sparking Zero. Each of these characters earn their place via their iconic battles, their memorable powers, and the role that they play within the Dragon Ball universe. Their absence feels like a bit of a missed opportunity in order to further deepen the roster of Sparking Zero, because a lot of these characters have strategic movesets and they have a solid story behind them. Be sure to stick around until the very end of this video as I'll go over my number one pick for the character who definitely needs to be included in Sparking Zero. So without further delay, let's go over 10 characters who previously were in the Budokai Tenkaichi series but unfortunately are not in Sparking Zero. In the number 10 position, we have Mercenary Tao, who is also known as Tao Pai Pai. You all know that he's an iconic Dragon Ball villain who would bring a unique and nostalgic touch to Sparking Zero. Introduced as a ruthless assassin with an infamous reputation, Mercenary Tao was a central figure during the Red Ribbon Army arc of the original Dragon Ball series, and he posed a serious threat to Goku in his early years. His methods and his style set him apart from the typical Z fighters, and it's for this reason why he is fondly remembered by fans. He has an arsenal of unconventional techniques like his Dodon Ray, along with his fighting style being brutal, precise, and calculated. Tao Pai Pai also transforms into Cyborg Tao during the Dragon Ball series, and this opens the door for a variant of his character who has further enhancements which will make him harder to defeat. Tao Pai Pai's unique moveset could bring a blend of martial arts, strength, and technical skill, offering a bit of a departure from the game's Saiyan-heavy focus. His inclusion would not only appeal to fans of classic Dragon Ball, but it would also provide a unique gameplay experience honoring the legacy of this character, while also introducing his lethal style to new players who may not be familiar with the original Dragon Ball story. In the number 9 position, we have Kibito Kai. Now this is the fusion of Supreme Kai and his loyal assistant Kibito. This is one of the more interesting characters who is left out of Sparking Zero. Kibito Kai plays a major role in the Majin Buu saga, and as a fusion character, he would be a welcomed addition to Sparking Zero, as he embodies the wisdom of the Supreme Kai and the healing abilities of Kibito. It would grant him a unique moveset which would make him stand out in the game. Kibito Kai in Sparking Zero would offer a refreshing blend of offensive and supportive abilities, with his mastery of Kai Kai teleportation allowing for instantaneous movement without energy sensing, and this may allow him to teleport behind characters and deal out devastating blows. Kibito Kai also has healing abilities, which could be useful in battle, especially if his HP is low. He can heal mid-fight. He also has powerful energy-based techniques like Energy Rain, which give him ranged offensive options. Adding this character to the roster would appeal to fans of the Buu saga, as well as individuals who want to diversify the gameplay via the unique abilities that he offers. This character is a unique blend between offense and support, and this is something that's often overlooked within fighting games, so Kibito Kai would definitely balance out the roster. In position number 8, we have the Supreme Kai, also known as Shin. Introduced during the Majin Buu arc, his absence within Sparking Zero is really surprising because he already has a complete model for the game, and in terms of his moves, they've already been mapped out because he first appeared in Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and had returned in Tenkaichi 3. The Supreme Kai has a distinctive fighting style which stands him apart from the other Z fighters and the typical Saiyan warriors, as he has a combination of defensive abilities and divine powers, and the Supreme Kai adds a unique dimension to the roster with his telekinesis and powerful ki-based attacks like Energy's Last. It definitely makes me want to see the Supreme Kai return, since he's been in the Tenkaichi series since the second game, so I'm fairly confident that he most likely likely will be coming back as a DLC maybe in the future. In the number 7 position, we have Fasha. She would bring a unique Universe 7 Saiyan presence to the series, as we have a couple of Universe 6 female Saiyans via Caulifla and Kale, so having Fasha would be a welcomed addition to Sparking Zero. She made her debut within Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and she had introduced fans to a fierce acrobatic fighter who can hold her own in most situations. Known for her resilience and fiery temper, Fasha delivers a dynamic combat style which blends raw power with speed. Unlike her male Saiyan counterparts, she brings a bit of refreshing versatility as she wields energy techniques like Energy Ballet and Hunting Arrow, which flesh out her moveset. Fasha could possibly also have a Great Ape transformation form, which would flesh out the cast of large-sized characters in the game. With her connections to Planet Vegeta and the potential to have what-if scenarios with Bardock's character, Fasha would most certainly be a welcomed addition to the Sparking Zero roster. And from one Saiyan to another, in the number 6 position, we have none other than King Vegeta, the last ruler of the Saiyans, who was a proud and ruthless leader who fiercely defended his people against the tyranny of Frieza. Despite him bowing to Frieza, his loyalty did have limits, as evidenced by his fateful rebellion against the tyrant, as King Vegeta's character offers a rich story which has potential for expansion within Sparking Zero and what-if scenarios like Prince Vegeta battling his father. His last appearance as a playable character was in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, as he brought a unique blend of brute strength and royal Saiyan power to the game. With his ability to also transform into a Great Ape, it would further enhance his combat potential, and it would allow us to wield yet another monstrously large character who would be easily able to overpower others just by sheer size alone. King Vegeta may have been a forgotten character, but he did make a reappearance within Dragon Ball Super Broly, so it's very likely that he may well appear in Sparking Zero in the future. In the number 5 spot, we have Arale Norimaki, who is from Akira Toriyama's original work Dr. Slump, which was created before Dragon Ball. Her being in Sparking Zero would bring a combination of humor and raw strength to the roster, and honestly it wouldn't be the first time that Arale has had a crossover appearance within Dragon Ball, as she's appeared within the manga and the anime, and she was in fact included within Budokai Tenkaichi 3 as a fully playable character. So again, it's a bit strange why she wasn't included within Sparking Zero. It would add yet another female character to the roster, and it would just be chaotic fun to play as her, as she effortlessly breaks the rules of physics and dominates her opponents with her unpredictable moveset. Arale would be able to use devastating attacks like Nachang Cannon and Earth Splitter, and these deceptively powerful moves would be hidden under her innocent demeanor. Her signature move Rocket Punch would also allow her to fire her fists like projectiles, a move that's similar to Android 16's, and as a gag character, she would also bring her signature Poop Stick into battles, which is a nod to her playful nature, and in general, her durability and strength surpasses those of a lot of Dragon Ball characters, as seen when she casually beats Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super, and she matches blows with Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Now, I'm not sure how canon all of that was, but it definitely does make for a fun experience playing as her. In the number 4 position, we have Demon King Piccolo, one of Dragon Ball's original most fearsome villains. I'm really surprised that he's not in Sparking Zero. His legacy as a ruthless conqueror who once plunged Earth into chaos makes him a major figure in the franchise. Having previously been playable in Tenkaichi 2 and Tenkaichi 3, King Piccolo's return to Sparking Zero would not only honor classic fans, but introduce a lot of new players to this iconic villain from the original series. He has deadly techniques like the explosive Demon Wave, along with his iconic finger beam attacks. It would be cool for him to be in the game and for him to have some original dialogue, maybe with an older Piccolo. Demon King Piccolo definitely needs to be in Sparking Zero, and I'm expecting him to most certainly be a DLC edition in the future. Now we're finally in the top 3 missing characters who need to be in Sparking Zero, and we're starting in the 3rd position with Nuvo Shenron, who is the dragon of the 4-star ball. Out of all of the Shadow Dragons, he is the most honorable, as well as the most intense with his fiery power and his noble personality. personality. He's a fan favorite from Dragon Ball GT, and Nuovo Shenron is memorable not only for his heat-based abilities, but also for his honorable, kind-hearted approach to combat, and this sets him apart from the other sinister dragons. Nuovo Shenron previously appeared in Tenkaichi 3, and his presence in Sparking Zero would further flesh out the roster of GT characters, and it would allow us to play as a character who has fire-based abilities. This dragon can superheat his body to over 6,000 degrees, as well as conjuring deadly flames and even his fiery Nuovo Sphere, which he can use to encase his opponents. His power to manipulate solar energy for attacks like the Nova Death Ray means that he can battle indefinitely, drawing from the limitless power of the sun. Nuovo's dynamic with his twin brother E Shenron adds another layer to these characters, and E Shenron could also be added into the roster, especially if Nuovo Shenron is being considered. And we may even get a original GT story where these two dragons and Omega Shenron flesh out the GT storyline in the game, because it's pretty much absent. In the number 2 position, we have another Dragon Ball GT character who's been highly requested by fans, and it's the powerful Super 17, who merges the raw power of Android 17 with an all-new Android 17 created within Hell, and the idea of Super 17 was conceived by Dr. Mew and Dr. Gero. Fans of Tenkaichi 3 will remember 17's electrifying moveset, and his return in Sparking Zero needs to definitely happen, especially with Super 17's ability to absorb energy attacks, which is central to his identity. When he fought against Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super 17 demonstrates the ability to absorb powerful blasts and to amplify his own strength with each attack that is fired at him. His nature to adapt and evolve has earned him a reputation in the series as one of the most intense villains. Fans have definitely felt the omission of Super 17, as a lot of people want him in the game, and for good reason, so I'm certainly hoping that Super 17 is included as DLC in the future. Now, my number 1 pick for the character who's missing from Sparking Zero, who needs to be in the game, is Pikkon, a fan favorite from the Otherworld Tournament filler arc. This is a powerhouse character who has unique abilities that make him a must-have addition to Sparking Zero. Pikkon is known for his honorable spirit as well as the impressive moveset that he has, and he would bring a fresh style to the battlefield with abilities like his iconic Thunder Flash attack and Hyper Tornado. As a character who first appeared in Tenkaichi 2, he quickly became a staple of the series and had reappeared within Tenkaichi 3 due to his popularity. Pikkon is renowned for his dedication to justice, similar to the Pride Troopers like Jiren and Toppo. His appearances within the Otherworld Tournament arc and in Dragon Ball Z Movie 12 Fusion Reborn had cemented him as a fan favorite, and this is despite him not appearing within the original manga. His inclusion in Sparking Zero would allow players to relive some of the most exciting fights from the series, and for Pikkon to have some pretty cool what-if stories, as I'd love to see Jiren battling against this character. So yeah, now this was my list of the top 10 characters who are missing from Sparking Zero who need to be added in the game in the future via a DLC. I know that these top 10 lists can be very controversial, but you have to remember that all of these takes are subjective, which is why I always ask at the end, what is your own personal top 10 list of characters who are missing from Sparking Zero which need to be added to the game? I'd love to read all of your thoughts, so definitely continue the discussion in the comments. And lastly, thanks for making it to the end of this video, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.